I thought XSET was playing up a couple of notches, to be honest. NRG punched a lot of balls off the crossbar, but I don't necessarily feel it's because the shooting was off. There were a couple, yes, absolutely, but I think overall XSET stepped up, so I think this is a little bit more clear-cut in favor of NRG than a lot of people might think, but to be honest, you know, that's what we've been saying about the Peeps the whole time. Oh, they're going up against this team, now they'll lose. So, you know, maybe I'm just still asleep.
All finally able to get a nap at this point. But nope. Stop sleeping on him. Here comes Garrett with the shot from the outfield, blocked by Gyro. And we are now moving to best of 7 matches on the day. Got to get 4 wins to move forward into our finals for regional event number 2. Here comes AJ and Aleutian tag teaming this one into a corner. Aleutian looking for the bump on Justin. Justin just sits still, picks up the ball, flicks it over one, and Gyro's got to catch it at midfield. Squishy to keep it there. Here comes Garrett G. He's got Justin underneath. Gonna look for a flip reset himself. I don't think he got it, and it's gonna go to the corner. Justin now onto the backboard once more. Gyro alone in net. Justin tries to hound him down. Squishy will pass it into the box, and it gets sent away. Aleutian on the touch.
And I'm expecting Aleutian to he's going to need to have a good game today as a third man or while he's ever on defense against this NRG roster, because if he's struggling, then the Peeps are going to be finding themselves in a lot of tough spots on defense. So I think Aleutian's backline defense is going to be the key to success for them if they want to take down NRG here.
Garrett G up against Aleutian here in the enemy corner. Trying to push it through. Aleutian does some solid blocking. Justin's pass to Squishy actually doesn't get touched, so AJ will touch it across the midfield line. Now here come the Peeps on offense. Solid clear, and Garrett G finds the shot from the cherry pick. 2 touches, and that's the first goal.
Well, you can do as much as you can, but when the ball just pinches all the way back to the opposite corner and Garrett G just happens to be there, well, you gotta just hope he's gonna miss. And unfortunately for the Peeps, Garrett G doesn't miss too often, especially with an open net. Very nice shot.
Garrett to the edge. Now Justin off the kickoff. Will lose control of this ball. Will be up to Squishy. The Peeps spend a lot of time on defense here. We saw one moment of breaking out, and then it immediately turned into a goal the other direction. Gyro with a monster flick. Aleutian over the top of one. Can he double tap it? No, it's off the crossbar again. Garrett G now taking it out on the counter. AJ pinches it back in. Aleutian is to try block. Gets it back to AJ. The shot just off the post. Gyro in for the follow-up. Blocked by Squishy. And now AJ's got to fall back and play some retreating defense here. But the Peeps starting to come alive on offense.
That was unfortunate. 2 phenomenal passing plays from the Peeps. Just able to carve up that NRG defense. Unfortunately, though, neither of them able to get it in between the post, and Garrett G wise here to take his time on this dribble. We talked about that a couple times yesterday. NRG was doing a real nice job taking care of the ball whenever they were transitioning on offense. We'll see if they continue that here in this semifinal. Justin on a dribble, cut to the top right. Aleutian tried to stay with him, but he just had to defend the big part of the net and couldn't quite hang on to the flick behind him.
Teaches him a few lessons, shoots over his shoulder. 2-0 now. Justin, 100% goal participation in game number 1. 2:19 on the clock, and the Peeps, they came alive on the offense, but it was that final moment of shooting, the final actual shot, the first the double tap and then the shot that hit the post for them. That ultimately means they have no goals. Both of those were on the open nets. The Peeps going to have to find a way to string all 3 pieces of the puzzle, the transition, the pass, and the shot. They want to make it onto the scoreboard. There's the transition. Squishy will break up anything that happens before that.
Oh, wow, stayed with that.
Getting challenged, this one dropping dangerous. Garrett G pushed it away. AJ now looking to put it back into the midfield. He's going to take a shot himself. Aleutian collapsed on top of him, but Justin takes it away. It's him up against Gyro. Takes it to the air, dunks him in. 3-0 NRG.
Now, I can understand Gyro's thought process here as he rotates back and Justin squeezes that ball through the midfield line. He goes up that backboard because, I mean, normally you'd think Justin's going to air dribble that and try and punch it into the top right corner, but I honestly think Gyro kind of took himself a little too far out of position with that. It's an awkward ball to be sure because conventional wisdom says he's going to keep it up in the air and you want to be able to follow that up with a strong clear off the backboard. But going up that backboard just made it too easy for Justin to drop that ball back down and go right under him. That's honestly just great recognition from Justin.
Yeah, going on the backboard, I feel like for Gyro, it gives him more options to block wherever the shot gets placed. The moment you're jumping, you're leaving the bottom open if Justin chose to try and roll it. But you also are having to block then with the top of your car instead of your front bumper, so it's just a little bit more prone to being muscled through.
Yeah, it's tough. You really got to square up that challenge to keep that one out, and unfortunately, Gyro just couldn't stay with it there. Tough break, and now a 3-goal lead in game 1. Definitely going to be going NRG's way, I think.
Yeah, 1 minute remaining, down by 3, not even on the board yet. I think it's pretty safe to say this one going to be going to NRG. But again, best of 7, more of a marathon than we're used to here. So as long as the Peeps can keep their wits about them, they've had moments of brilliance, just kind of stringing the entire package together. We'll have a ball game. 37 seconds left. The outfield pass, pushing onto the backboard. Nobody there to touch it.
Oh,
And just even getting any goal here for the Peeps, I think, would help bring mojo back a little bit in their direction.
very nice. NRG getting a little creative there at the end, but I agree.
Like it.
It would be good to see the Peeps come back and find a nice goal, but Illusion finds himself in a 1-on-3.
Oh,
no. And he kept it out. Real nice
Hey.
job, but he can't keep up the contingency plan of Squishy Muffins. Applause to
look at this
Illusion
picture.
for even getting onto this ball in the first place.
Yeah, the fact that he got the first block strong, but 1v3 super hard, especially against NRG. So, yeah, it'll be a 4th one going in. There was a moment there where you saw all 3 players crossing the midfield line and just Illusion. It's like, oh no, here come the Lions.
Yep.
Run, little gazelle. Gyro onto the backboard, into the box. Can they get a momentary goal? The very end of regulation. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen unless they get a buzzer beater. AJ keeps it alive. Hey, Squishy puts it towards the box. Hey, no. Close one. It would have been fun. Onto the ground. NRG going to take game number 1, 4-0, making a statement here. Every goal a little bit spectacular in its own right.
Yeah, they all had their own little bits that were required to get the job done. And overall, I think the Peeps actually handled a lot of it pretty well. Just a couple of those situations too difficult, like Gyro not being in the perfect position to handle a really tough air dribble.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that last one where, I mean, it's 3-on-1 and you're trying to press it just to get a goal. I mean, what are you going to do? I think this game played a lot more like a 2-0 win for NRG than it did a 4-0 one. And it was just a tough couple of situations. Like, even if you think back to that first goal that you saw in that highlight, it was a pinch from NRG's corner, and Garrett G just happened to be in the right spot and he was able to go up and get it. So really, it was just NRG making some big reaction plays and taking advantage of some opportune positioning for them that were able to beat the Peeps. Then the Peeps, the big thing to look for in game 2 here is their ability to transition out of defense, because they did get stuck there a fair bit. But to be honest, the only goals that went in for NRG were kind of like, okay, we couldn't do much about that. So I think the Peeps actually played decently. It just really didn't go their way.
They did play decently, but when you've got a team that's able to score 4 goals that you're not able to do much about, I'm scared for the rest of the series. So have to tighten a few things up here. Also,
Yep.
Justin's hot right now. He was hot earlier in the day. Has perfect goal participation so far here in the series. Only been 1 game, but still, well done. On 4 shots, too.
Yeah. And you're really looking to Gyro and AJ to be those 2 players on the Peeps to bring those balls down in their own half. Take them on dribbles if they can. Get them on air dribbles.
Always got the reset.
Force possession.
It was got blocked. AJ, excellent read, predicting where the reset would get used. Now here comes a follow-up banger. AJ just pops up, gets the block, works as a clear 2. Justin putting more pressure on, trying to pass out to Squishy. Can he get out of his own teammate's way? Now Squishy looking to drop the guillotine. It won't quite find its mark. And now AJ on the counterattack over the top of Garrett G. Justin's up for the block, but Illusion's lurking. Hoping to try and take it off of his hood. Gets it neutral. Gyro beaten to the air by Squishy. Squishy's so fast at reading. And now through the air, the flip over the top. He's out of boost and will fall, but the damage is done into enemy territory. Here's Garrett G. Nice dunk off the wall. Now Illusion with Gyro in front for the blocks. They gain control out of the corner. Justin now off the ceiling. Pushes across midfield, loses control. Gyro put it to the corner. Squishy and Garrett both commit, but everybody for the Peeps staying grounded. Now the long ball plays from the midfield. Squishy going airborne for it. Nice positional block. Illusion wasn't quite able to find a shot.
Command on those touches from the Peeps good. They were able to get the passes to each other, but the touches on the receives were just a little too strong, and they had to push themselves a little too hard and overextend themselves to really be able to stay with the play. So Peeps making good progress, pass across, and AJ stays right with it. Doesn't get dunked by Garrett G coming in hard.
Beautiful pass. Every touch Justin's making is improving NRG's field position here. Squishy takes to the air. 18 boost, flip reset, takes it all the way to the ground, flicks it over one. Gyro off the backboard, gets it here. It's Garrett G with a follow-up high on the backboard again, and Illusion will find a clear. Now back to midfield. Squishy up for it, passes across to Garrett G on the half rotation. He's not going to have any boost left with to chase that one. Justin up for it, but Gyro's covering him up. Justin manages to get to the ball in time. AJ will take this one slow, dunked by Justin on the fall. Now up against Gyro in the corner. Gyro will find that read. Gets it back to midfield. Illusion's got an open net to shoot at, but Garrett G falling back will collapse on it in time. Gyro tries, but no. Garrett G gets it through and gets the demolition onto him. And now in front of Justin, just trying to pave the way, just onto the backboard. Squishy's there, blocked by one. Squishy up on the read, just to the steer. Garrett G's nowhere in sight. The Peeps will get away with another one. We're still scoreless here. 2 minutes to go in game 2.
Peeps are getting closer on the offense, though. The only reason Illusion didn't score is because he had 0 boost. Justin goes for the demos, and Illusion able to stay with it through the smoke cloud and stick with the ball, turn it aside, and the Peeps making good progress here in game 2, but is it enough to crack the goal line of NRG one time?
I'm genuinely impressed with the Peeps defense here in game 2. So much harassment there. 2 players in their box, and Squishy Muffin's looking to make a shot. Illusion still manages to dodge the demolitions and get the block, but you said it. They've got to find a way to make it work on offense. They have yet to get on the board. Justin out to Garrett G. Outfield pass. Banger. AJ with another save.
Had to make a couple of those, too, in this game as well. He's on 4 so far. And Illusion, not a bad touch for space, but not very good for possession, as they'll have to rally again and using a lot of boost just to keep this ball somewhat playable, and it almost gets out of hand. Garrett G tries to go lower left-hand side.
All 3 players committed to this corner. One backs off to the net. Gyro getting bumped off the ball. Empty field here. AJ out to Gyro. Looks for the bump on Justin. They've got it out to the edge. 1 minute left in game number 2, and Justin's just going for it. Look to connect with Garrett G in the midfield, and Squishy wants to stall it out. Garrett G with a small pass. I think he was hoping to chip it straight up to Squishy. He's only got 30 boost to make this touch. Keeps it in the blue. The midfield control. So creative right now from NRG. Gyro will push it across, but Squishy's got lots of space. Right back into the box it goes. Garrett G off the corner. Justin's thinking about it, and Illusion puts it back down. Ooh. Justin falling all the way back. It was Squishy in the midfield who pushed up. 30 seconds left. Still scoreless. No. Here comes Peeps. 1 goal could be enough. Oh, not able to get it through Garrett G. Earns himself a savior medal as it goes back to midfield.
Garrett G had to make a real big cover-up play there. Justin was struggling. Back on their own half, and a breakaway. It's open. AJ rotating back, but just a little too late. He's stuck here at the top of the box, sees the pass out and tries to run. And unfortunately, Illusion was the guy on the midfield line, but he was off at the middle edge, grabbing that 100 boost pad, so out of position, and AJ couldn't close the gap fast enough.
Found the long field lane. 8 seconds left. Peeps yet to put one in the NRG net. It'll be 10 minutes of silence. The ball empty. They're just still playing defense. Gyro is going to have to make the touch of his life. If they want to get to overtime here. It's not going to happen. NRG only 1 goal here in game 2, but still perfectly shutting out the Peeps.
Yeah, and you were talking about that NRG midfield control in that game, and that was kind of ties back into the difference between these 2 teams so far. I mentioned that the Peeps passing was feeling a little bit too far away from each other, not quite as in command and really having to press themselves. NRG are making sure to get those passes on the money, right in the range of where they're intended to go for the next player to make contact. And for the Peeps, it's just a little bit more out of whack. It's too hard to execute it, and they just didn't quite have that same level of control. And unfortunately, even though the Peeps continue to play some rock-solid defense, they get caught out of position 1 time, and that's all it took.
10 saves they put up there. Only 1 goal goes in. I mean, and when you have a team that's playing that well in the box, that well in their back third, sometimes the long rangers are the ones you need. Justin continues his perfect goal participation here as we go into game 3. Peeps yet to score right now. At this point, getting anything in the back of the net is going to be a big momentum shift for them. Again, best of 7. This is the one that things start to become really critical. They lose this game, and they're tasked with reverse sweeping in the best of 7. I think that it has happened, but so difficult, especially against a team as hot as NRG.
To be fair, though, Peeps have made progress in both from game 1 to game 2. I think Peeps made a marked improvement in being able to get out of their own half and at least put a little bit of pressure on that NRG defense. Now it's just refining that offensive approach to be more quality to generate more quality shots, excuse me.
Justin up. Garrett G now towards the goal. Aleutian up there and gets the block. A player's in this corner, but Justin's there too. AJ now plays it over the top, went for the read, and he's got Gyro to help him get it across the midfield line. Can they connect with Aleutian in the midfield?
Nice
Aleutian complete air ball on the bump. AJ will try to just stall things out in the midfield, but here comes Justin and Garrett. Shot off the ceiling. Gyro's got to make the diving save. Blocks it. AJ tries to pop it up, just get it away from Justin. Squishy's able to cover him up, and Garrett G with the dunk into the box. Gyro gets it away from his goal, and Garrett G with the redirect. What a Terry pick again. NRG's back on top.
Yeah, the Peeps have nothing to do here. They're just going for challenges. Gyro's trying to get the long clear there to get some space. Unfortunately, it comes out a little bit flat off the bumper, goes right into the nose of Justin. Justin throws it up to Garrett G. Garrett G wins the race, and the redirect is in.
Justin's 100% participation continues at this point. I'm watching every single goal that goes in to see if he's there. AJ. Over the top of 1 to Aleutian, who just puts it to the corner. Gyro comes in on the follow-up, and it's off the post. The corner play is clever as long as the next shot's on target. And it wasn't. Garrett G plays this low, gets the goalies completely loose, but Justin can't quite get it through the front line defense. And now AJ looking for a counterattack. Squishy takes it away from him. Garrett over the top of 1, and they're just getting outclassed.
The real stellar play there is the positioning from Garrett G. Understanding Squishy's about to dive at that one and kick it straight into the midfield. And the only reason that didn't work out better is for NRG is because Garrett G got demoed.
What is Garrett doing? He's boosting upside down off the ceiling out of the enemy corner looking for shots. If the team's this comfortable, I'm terrified for the Peeps. Aleutian with an excellent save, but Justin's got a Garrett G to pass to. He puts it into the box himself looking for the selfish shot, and AJ will happily try to dribble this out. But they just can't get it through any challenge.
And they're trying, not through lack of trying. It's just Squishy is reading the ball incredibly quickly on defense. Garrett G's playing some lockdown midfield, and of course, you know, Justin right now, as you said, 100% goal participation. He's doing a great job getting the ball in scoreable spots. So big win right now is how well controlled those touches are from NRG, and AJ just wants one towards the net to see if it goes in.
AJ here, Gyro underneath 1. Aleutian to stop.
Nice.
There's some bumps. Squishy gets it away. He's got Garrett G on the flank. AJ should get this ball for free. He's got Aleutian across the field to connect to, though. That's a long pass, and Justin sees it and a mile away. Now Garrett G up. Back into the box. Justin's there, onto the backboard. Here comes Squishy up against 2 defenders. Garrett G tries to position to catch this. The pass across to Justin to beat Gyro. What a read. Gyro gets all the way across, seeing the pass coming. He keeps the score at 1-0. Keeps it within range. Peeps, they've got to get on the board.
Yeah, real nice touch from Gyro as well to generate space. They go for the bump on the goal line to give Gyro some space. Hits it a little firm off the crossbar. Justin able to make the save. Again, Peeps continuing to change that approach on offense. This time they get a quality attempt from Gyro. Just well defended.
And they are starting to gain more and more field control here. Ball spending an extended amount of time, and NRG's back third. We said the Peeps making adjustments. There's Justin demolished, but Garrett G, I think, out of boost. He gets demoed. This should be a goal. Justin off the respawn makes the stop. Garrett G spawns into a fortunate corner, and the touch from Gyro will send it to the other side. AJ's there, but he's up against Justin, beats him, and the demolitions continue to rain in. Back in front of the box. Justin manages to get it back across up to about the 3rd line, and now to midfield. The Peeps slowly gaining control, but still no goal. 1 minute remaining in game 3.
Real smart play from Garrett G to try and take that ball off the sidewall and get the read. But again, now the Peeps really squeezing hard here out of the midfield, demanding that they be perfect and in position or else. And also having to worry about the demos. This is a tough go for NRG. The Peeps fighting real hard here in game 3.
Garrett G wins that aerial dunk, and finally the ball touches the blue backboard. First time in about a minute. Justin sends a shot just wide. AJ is able to scoop it up, takes it to the corner. Squishy falls back on this, called off by Garrett. Ball stalls out in the middle 3rd. Gyro gets it over the top of Justin. 20 seconds left. Only a 1-goal game. AJ with a soft touch. Here's the pass to Aleutian. Squishy just reads it and just continues to hover behind the ball. There was no shot despite their best efforts.
Reading the ball again so quickly about what his options were, decide to close it down. Justin goes for another little bit of shimmy shake, see if he can let Aleutian go by. 3 seconds for the Peeps.
Over the top of 2, to the back corner. Clock has expired. They've got to make the full court carry to get us to overtime. Justin to slam it down. Gyro's off too. Illusion's there, and that's into an empty corner. No, they get it onto the wall. AJ to try and carry this one. Teammates piling up on top of each other, and the boost getting stolen means they should not have enough resources, but they managed to get it over into the enemy territory. And now Justin back away. Long touches, keeping this ball alive for a while. Garrett G to the backboard.
Oh, man.
Illusion's got the time, and he picks up a new boost pad. Back in front of the box. Squishy's there. Oh, they loft it. There's a demolition onto Illusion. That'll free up the space. And finally, it touches. NRG have shut out the Peeps for 3 games. And I don't know that we keep records of specifically this sort of thing, but there's only, to my recollection, been 3 perfect shutouts in best of 5s. Or no, 2 perfect shutouts in best of 5s in the RLCS. And we don't keep records.
That is an interesting question.
We don't keep records of, like, did someone shut out for the first 3 games of a best of 7 and then, like, a goal go in match 4. So, but still, impressive feat here for NRG. Something very few teams have ever managed to do. And I can say with confidence, there's never been a perfect shutout in a best of 7. NRG 1 game away from pulling that off. Justin, still perfect goal participation.
Long way to go, though. The Peeps really did put together a very scary drive at the end of that game. They just need a few more of those if they can continue to generate that pressure with the demos, which is what Gyro was talking about earlier. Maybe Xset would have some success with that. Currently, it's been the Peeps' best opportunities on goal here in the semifinals. But right now, NRG, it's just the control of the ball, transitioning and getting that ball close to their teammates that has been the biggest boon for them on offense. It allows them to waste so much time and give themselves so many opportunities. Flip reset, bar down, out. Illusion and Gyro both commit. Garrett G tries to time the challenge for the dunk. And unfortunately, a little early.
Wish he doesn't believe in himself. Gets called off. Illusion and Gyro right on top of each other again. AJ on the goal line will make the save. NRG picking up the pressure in the beginning of game 4. Peeps not able to continue the momentum they were starting to build in the end of game 3. Here comes Garrett G. Illusion is going to make the block. Squishy will rotate all the way back. Let Garrett G and Justin Half rotate in the midfield. He'll play that third man. Now through 2. Here's the pass across. Garrett G might put it into Justin, though. And now Justin getting called off by Squishy. Gyro in the back. Garrett G gets a demolition. Here comes Squishy. He's got AJ and Illusion in front of him. Passes it across. Tries to make the goalies chase it. Off the ceiling. Justin under AJ. Gyro not with the best of touches. Squishy with the trap up against Illusion.
Wow.
Flicks them, puts it in. NRG gets the first goal.
You want to talk about excellence? This catch from Squishy is perfect. Jumps up so Illusion can't go for the ball because he sees Squishy jump. Boosts back down to the ground. Illusion sees that, turns around and tries to get close, but Squishy with the perfect trap. The clean catch onto the hood into the instant flick. Oh, Illusion was dead to rights. He couldn't do anything.
Chat saying, don't sweep on the Peeps. I don't know. They might be about to do it. Illusion out to AJ. AJ with the turnaround. He's got Gyro in front. He can go for demos. He's got a bump on one, but the pinch sends it all the way back down. Poor Illusion now on the backboard. He's got to play defense. He's got no boost to the tank. Luckily for him, all of NRG falling back, rotating away. Here's AJ over the top of one. Gyro and Illusion onto the side wall. Double up their efforts over on this side. Goes through one. Gyro into the corner. Justin should be calling Garrett G off here. Gets it over the top of Gyro. Now over the top of AJ. Bumps him off, and Illusion should pick this up for free. But Justin able to cover him up. Justin doing so much right now.
The bump on, I believe it was AJ to stop him from gaining possession of that ball. Here's the 3-on-1. And Garrett G got out of it, and he's going to score.
Oh, my God. Just call in the dogs, put out the fire. It's all over. You had 3 players. Garrett dodges the first one, dunks the next 2, and scores the counterattack. My goodness.
Wow. How do you get out of the 3-on-1, dodge the demo, clean dunk the challenge? Oh, and just go right into the goal.
Oh, Gyro's got to make a diving save just to keep a 3rd goal out. Justin onto the backboard looking for the double tap, blocked by AJ out of the goal. Now looking for the counterattack himself. Carries it high. Squishy gets the block. It's these 1v1 challenges every time. I don't think NRG's missed one yet. Here comes Squishy on the counterattack. Nobody's home. That's goal number 3. They're going to sweep them, but can they keep the perfect shutout? Peeps got to avoid being on the wrong side of history here.
AJ just trying to keep possession of that ball, but I think he wanted it to come with him to the sidewall. Unfortunately, it ended up tipping forward. And that gave just a little bit of space for Squishy Muffin to come in and take that ball away. And again, the Peeps trying to turn it into a goal. They'll get it off the kickoff. It does happen. Unfortunate.
Well, chat, if you wanted to see history made, you're going to have to wait another day. Illusion's had enough of it. They will not go quietly into that good night and give you a perfect sweep in a best of 7. It still has never happened in 10 seasons of the RLCS. But also, I want to point out, Justin did finally break his perfect goal participation streak here. And is not participating in the last 2. So, you know, NRG may be starting to show weakness.
Yeah, weakness in the 3-1 scoreline. 4-1, excuse me. Sorry.
Jeez.
Oh, weakness so as he carries this air dribble out of the corner. Just absolute.
That's basically, that's a long kind of like stretched out doomsday dish. Oh my goodness.
Much, yeah.
That was beautiful stuff.
What a game and what a series. I mean, again, you go back and you look at it. Peeps not necessarily doing anything wrong. The only difference here is perfect execution versus pretty good execution. The Peeps haven't. Yeah. Like here's the one bad mistake, quote unquote, that the Peeps have made. Illusion got caught grabbing boost in game 1 or game 2, whatever it was. That's it. He got caught grabbing boost. Otherwise, it's been a pretty good game. They're just getting outplayed.
It is. It's just these midfield stops. I mean, the moment, the microcosm of this game for me is the 3v1, where you have all like the 2 different 3v1s we had. NRG, 3 players up against Illusion in goal. Just make quick work of it. It's so beautiful. This game, 3v1, Peeps versus Garrett G, manages to dodge the first one, dunk the next 2, and put it in by himself. Like, it's just, it's not that they made any mistakes. I mean, maybe they could have been a little bit more spread out, not been like,
sure,
kind of arranged this like high
how
formation,
often do you think the guy's just gonna face dive you in the 3-on-1, right? Like, he just, he didn't even think about it. He was like, all right, I'm challenging. And he faked out Illusion on his pathing because he thought he was gonna shade right to cover the option. And Illusion just went straight by, and Garrett G went right over their heads. And that's another goal.
Justin on the pass, Squishy on the shot, 5-1 NRG. Gonna take this one down in as quick as fashion as possible. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And it has been every play, every player lighten up in some way, Squishy especially on the defense. Man, the question for me now moves to the other side of the bracket. Who's gonna face off against this monster?
You know, I said yesterday that I woke up and I felt like I'd been transported back a couple seasons. I feel like I was right to feel that way right now.
This does feel there's memories of season 5 NRG hanging in these waters. So AJ and Illusion will try here. The Peeps putting out their best effort and continuing every week to show themselves stronger and as a force to be reckoned with. But
oh man,
what do you do when you run into gods?
Well, unfortunately here you tip your cap and you also look at it and you say, we know we could have beat them. Because honestly, sure, here in this game 6-1, what are you gonna do? But the other games, they were all tight games. This was not, yes, it was a convincing win in a lot of the games for NRG. There's 7-1. It's happened.
Oh, Brazil
convincing win.
A statement. NRG not willing. There's like, if you're going to take away the perfect shutout, well, I'm sorry, we're going to make you pay for it. Braziled them up here to finish it off. 4 seconds left. I don't know. They had the first game that was a 4-0.
Yeah, which played a little more like a 2-0. And then games 2 and 3 played 1-0, right? But those 1-0s were pretty good 1-0s. I mean, NRG is definitely running the table. It was just Peeps' defense that was keeping it at 1-0, right? So you got to give a lot of credit to Peeps in those 1-0 losses. And then game 4 happens, and it's just an absolute disaster. I mean, you keep trying to build on what was going well. And at that point, as soon as I think that 3-on-1 happened and it became 2-0, they're like, you've got to be kidding. And then the heart goes out of it. It's like, all right, fine, you win.
No. Oh my. Well, the chase for a perfect sweep in a best of 7 continues here. We will not. Lucian does do the one thing. If they were able to take one thing away from NRG, it would have been it was that record. But
no goose egg.
That finishes up that series, and now the other possibility of an upset, an underdog making it all the way to the grand finals will be happening on the other side of our bracket. Team MB going to be taking on the KC Pioneers. Kansas City showing up in fashion this regional event. Will they be able to make it to take on NRG? We'll find out after the break.